that's what I hate about Adele.
He said, you will never make it in this town.
Now those people are coming back.
Yeah. There has been so much good in Adele, but there's also so much bad.
Girl, I want to know the tea now.
Okay. So we are here in a private cabana at Poolside. Here, if you haven't been to Hard Rock in Tampa, bring your family.
Yes.
You know, Dad can go in the casino. Mom and daughter can lay out by the pool.
Dogs are welcome
Dogs
here.
are welcome here. Of course, she's a service animal.
Right.
But we've had a great time here at the Hard Rock.
Yes.
We have a lot to say, and just being on vacation does not take that away.
Right, yeah. So you guys, we are having another giveaway, and I cannot wait to give you guys information about it. However, y'all know the drill. You have to get to like the middle part of the video, then I'll start telling you guys what the giveaway is and how you guys can enter.
And it is some good giveaway items, and it's free.
Right.
That's all we're going to say.
Right.
So go ahead, if you hadn't subscribed, go ahead and get that part done, and go ahead and enjoy this video. You know, we're in Tampa. Tampa is a big city,
Right.
and, you know, we're from a very small town.
Yep, small towns. I mean, so you guys, that's what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Small towns, of course, they're small businesses as well,
Yes.
but also it comes with small-minded people. And
Yeah,
that's what we will be
unfortunately.
talking about. There are pros and cons to every single situation in life, and especially to this. Would you say we have more pros or cons?
Well, you know, when I was growing up, I was born and raised in our small town, Adel, Georgia. We're on I-75. For those of you that don't know, we are centrally located between Valdosta and Tifton, Georgia.
Literally smack dab in the middle.
And that's how most people know us.
Right.
So when you're in a small town and you're a teenager, you can't wait to leave.
Right.
There's nothing there. That I hate to say it, but there's no reason to want to stay. The idea of going to high school in a small town is to graduate, move off to college, and move on with your career.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to do. When I was in high school, I could not wait to leave Adel, Georgia.
Right.
And then as you grow older, you realize that a small town could be great to raise a family.
Right.
You know, you grow up and you realize, and I've traveled all over the country, and I thought, you know, Adel's safe. Adel's a great place to grow up and raise your kids.
I realize I'm nodding my head, yes, but in reality, I should be nodding my head like this here.
I know. I agree with that. There has been so much good in Adel, but there's also so much bad. But we're talking about business, and my issue with small business is just because a business is in a small town does not mean it's a small business.
Right.
You know, so many times when you live in a small town, rather than trading and doing business with someone local, you think, oh, well, I'm going to drive to Atlanta, Georgia to shop, or I'm going to shop online, or I'm going to order my stuff from China, or whatever the case may be, instead of doing local trade with your local stores. And what does that do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, what do you think? You have Raising Royals.
Right.
You're a small town business. You're young. You're in business. And that's good and bad because you're like me. I've been in Adel doing business for 30 years. I've been in business 30. Actually, this May is 31 years in Adel, Georgia. But there's nothing there.
I would say,
You know,
having a small business And because my business truly is a small business, it really is. And having it in Adel, I have a lot of mixed emotions with it. First of all, I know you mentioned buying online, things like that. The other day, I had this girl come in my store. She is one of my friends. She is a pageant girl, and she was just venting to me. She was like, Ashlyn, can you believe Sheen canceled my order? I'm not going to be able to get my spring break swimsuits. I said, good. Like, do not come in my store saying that you could not get your items from overseas and also from Sheen, that these products aren't even good for you because these clothing items are chemically produced. Like, you are putting chemicals on your body, and especially with swimsuits, like that is horrible for your body. And like me and her were joking around about it, of course. Like, I love her and her family, but just shopping online truly kills these small businesses. And for you, like you said, people drive to Atlanta because they think that they are getting, oh my gosh, we're in Atlanta and we're getting this dress. Okay, you are spending $50 more on that dress.
Right.
You are also paying,
least.
right, at least. You are also paying gas money just because you want that luxury experience. Okay, did you even come in the store first? You know, did you even try to shop small before you went? Or no, the best one is a small town peer, I guess you could say, post on Facebook, hey, where can I find a homecoming dress?
Right. Well, and you've lived there your whole
Excuse me?
life, and you clearly know
Right.
after 30 years of being there, you know that I'm there. But, you know,
Right.
it's like for every one of Adel that leaves, 3 from out of town come.
Right.
You know, we book hotel rooms. We have people that travel several states. They fly in. We pick them up from the Valdosta airport. Or, I mean, they come in from the Atlanta airport. They rent cars. We are very grateful for that.
Mhm.
But what people need to realize is small town businesses is what makes the world go round.
And
We dictate the economy.
I would say
you know?
my situation is a little bit harder because I started my business at 17, which granted, I know you started your store early too, but it's just no one took me seriously.
Right.
Even in school, I had teachers, I had administrators that didn't even take me seriously and take my business seriously. And now, thankfully, that my business is booming, now those people are coming back. Now those people are like, oh, well, what do you have in your store today? And I'm like, I appreciate every single customer. You guys do not take me where I'm not going here. Without my customers, I mean, I wouldn't have a small business. But at the same time, I just think it's ironic that the people that didn't want to support you in the beginning now want to support you when they see that you have X amount of followers.
Right.
Or when they see what you can do for them or what clout they could get from it, they now want to support you.
Right. And what people have to remember is when you start a business, and like for you at 17,
Right.
I mean, people do not take a 17-year-old serious. So you had to build yourself and build your reputation. I hate to say I get that, but I mean, I do realize when you're 17,
let me say this.
you know,
I get that.
they give you a chance.
Right. Give me a chance. However, don't, as far as school and like my administrators were concerned, they'd be like, are you actually going to work? Do you actually have a business? Yeah, I actually do. Thank you. 1. And 2, it was just, you have no idea what you're doing. It was stuff like that. There's a difference in being degrading, honestly, and being supportive from a distance.
Right.
You know,
100%.
there is, I mean, that's night and day. And I think what hurt me was that people that I thought that I considered family in my school especially never took me seriously and never wanted to support me. And as far as you and I have talked about this, even I've had surrounding county schools reach out to me wanting me to come and speak to their classes because it's important for young people to hear that even though you are young, you can still be successful. I do not believe that age should ever limit you on your capabilities. And
Absolutely.
huge shout out to Tift Middle School for asking me to come multiple times, and even Cook Middle School also has asked me, and I've spoken multiple times. However, the only school that still has not asked me was my own school that I graduated from.
Yeah, and that, that's unfortunate,
Right.
because that's, you would think, well, same thing, my alma mater, Cook High
Right.
School. I used to go to the career days and the
Mhm.
different events
Right.
and set up. You would think in a small community that they would embrace women in business
Right.
and support that, hey, these are our graduates from our school.
Right.
You know,
It's like they'd be
you
proud
know,
of you, you know?
30 years in business, 3 years in business at 17.
Mhm.
Who better to come speak to the student body than two young, or, well, okay, I'm not young now, but I was young when I started. I was in my
Right.
early 20s. And just small story here, that when I was in my early 20s and I was going to open my business, later on we'll reveal a lot of names, a lot of people. But there was a gentleman in Adel, Georgia that pretty much led Cook County, was the force behind making Adel, putting Adel on the map, on interstate, had all the restaurants, all the hotels, all the gas stations. And one day I told him that I was going to open a formal wear store in Adel. He looked at me and he said, "You're what?" He said, "You will never make it in this town."
Wait, I don't think I know who told you
You
that.
don't.
Do
You
I
don't
know
know
who
this
that
story.
person
No,
is, though?
you do not know this person. But and I'm gonna,
Girl,
we're
I
gonna, we're,
want to know the
I
tea
know,
now.
okay. The tea will come out, and I actually have a lot. I could do a whole segment on this man because he's legendary in Cook County. Um,
Y'all
hate,
comment down below. Do y'all know
probably
who it is? Help
hated
me
by
out.
many, not respected by near enough people, because he was a shrewd businessman. He was successful. He put his name on the map. He put Adel on the map. But guess what? He didn't play games.
Mhm.
He didn't play games. He did what he thought was best for his family, his business, and his people, and he let no one run over him. So therefore, Adel would say behind closed doors they didn't want to support him. And he told me, he said, "Adel will never support you." And I said,
Why
"Well,"
would you even tell somebody that is wanting to invest their money
because he
in a
was trying to
business?
help me, because he wanted me to understand he had made his fortune on I 75.
Uh-huh.
He had made his fortune on travelers, not locals. Locals didn't want to trade with him at the time because they were jealous of him.
Right.
And he was trying to help me. This man was not trying to hurt me.
Okay, so we liked him.
Yeah, no, I admire him so much.
Okay. I had to make sure we were on
No,
the same page.
we're on the same page. He was a very shrewd, very smart businessman.
Mhm.
And he was just being honest, and he was trying to help somebody young.
Yeah.
But I chose to believe in the community. And there's a lot of good people. There's a lot of people in Adel and Cook County that have been good to me and supported me. And regardless of whatever, I want to bring people to Cook County. I want to bring people to Adel. I want them to bring their tax dollars into Adel. Maybe everybody in Adel don't love me, but I love them. I love my community. I was born and raised in Cook County. You were too. And we're in Adel because it's where our business is, but we still believe in humanity, and
But
we believe
my
in
thing
people.
is, small town, everyone's supposed to support everyone, you know.
Right.
But also, how quick do they want to turn their backs on you
Oh, absolutely.
when you need the support the most? That's
Oh, yeah.
that's also, you know, when I was in high school, I never had the, oh my gosh, I want to leave Adel mentality.
No.
Because I wanted to be with you and Dad.
I did not raise you to feel that
Right.
way.
I wanted to be with my family. I wanted to start a business. However, since I got older, I've realized how many people want to turn their back on you when you're in the dog kennel. You know, like
Right.
when you're in the kennel, no one wants to come and check on you and see how you are doing. Or if they are doing that, they're just being nosy.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I hate about Adele. And truthfully, I don't want my kid to go through what I've been through
Right.
in Adele. Like when you're
Yeah.
in that small town community, I just feel like it's supposed to be something that we don't have and that we are missing. And shout out to the people that are trying to make Adele better, because
Yes,
we do notice
absolutely.
it and we do appreciate it so, so much. But being in Adele, living in Cook County, shouldn't our sales be the highest in Cook County and be the highest in Adele? Our number one leading sales county should not be an hour and a half away.
Right. 100%. And again, as we've said on these podcasts, we're not being negative. We're not putting our town down or our county down. We're saying do better.
Right.
We're
I'm
telling
saying
you
wake
do
up.
better. Wake up. Support your local businesses. Support the people that support you. Support the school system
Right.
people. Support us so we can support the sports programs, so we can support the clubs, where we can continue to pay all those sales tax dollars that we bring into the
Right.
county. Support us because we support your kids. We help build the roads. We help pay for all those county payrolls
Right.
and your salaries. Businesses are where the money comes from in our county, sales tax dollars. What about our employees? What about the employee
And
taxes?
with me,
And this is not just for us, guys. Support all the businesses in town. We're speaking for every business in downtown and in Cook County.
I just think, as far as my point of view, is I'm not bitter. I would just say I'm disappointed
Yes.
with the way that Adele has treated me as a young business owner, because in my mindset, I feel like you would want to pour into your young business owners more and
Yes.
more and more, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be there longer.
Right.
And as far as we are concerned, I'm eventually going to take over your business as well.
Right.
And I'm going to have pretty much almost half of downtown, because if you've been to Adele, you know that we only have like 2 red lights. So when I say that, I mean, and it's just the way that people have turned on me so quickly without even getting to know me and already forming opinions on me. First of all, I'm only 20 years old. The person that you know now is going to evolve. I'm going to evolve in the next 5 years into I am already an adult, but into a adult, into a wife, into a mother. But these people aren't even supporting me now, and they just want to be
Right.
solely focused on who I am now or who I was in middle school.
Right.
And
Right.
look at who I am and how people can grow. And it's just that small mindset. Like once you expand your mindset, you can see a bigger point of view. That's like
Absolutely.
one of my favorite things to do, and I don't even know if I've told you this, is when you're flying through an airplane or when you're flying on an airplane, I always love a window seat. But I love
Yes.
the window seat because when you are that high up in the air, you can see the land, the world in like a totally different perspective,
Yeah.
in a way that like you've never seen things before. And people just need to, I guess, get on an airplane and try to make their perspective larger on
Right.
things.
It's our county needs people to stay.
Right.
We don't need people to leave. Get your education, come back to Adel, build a business. One thing that everybody can go down a rabbit hole on Facebook. Not too long ago, somebody made a post on Facebook. Oh, wow. Hey, Hira's really growing. Hey, Hira is great. Look at everything. They really have it going on. Well, why do they have it going on? because their community supports them.
And their community comes together. Like
Right.
half of
Because they're in Lowndes County, not Cook
Right.
County.
Oh, Lily's leaving.
Yep.
I hope y'all
Lily's
aren't as
tired of this
bored
conversation,
as
guys.
Lily.
She's had enough and does not want to hear any more about our hometown.
But you guys, another thing that I want to address is in our small town, why do we let certain people have so much power? Where is that line drawn? Once again, why can't we all just be equals?
Right.
If you have X, Y, and Z, you think you have the authority to straight up ruin a family and to ruin someone's reputation? When are we going to start stepping up as citizens, as people, as somebody in a small town that's wanting better for our community?
Right.
Are we going to keep letting these people control everything? And the reason people might not like us is because I'm not going to be controlled. My mom's not going to be controlled. My dad's not going to be controlled. Once you let these people have control over you, you are being pretty much put in handcuffs. You know, like you are being bound by the control. And I just don't think anyone in our community should have that much power over someone just because they think they're Mr. Big Shot, you know? Like,
yeah, I 100% agree. You know, it's people in charge that think that they should be in charge instead of hardworking people that pay their taxes, that promote our county, that bring people into our county and try to live and try to do the right thing.
And
so
one last thing, you guys. Okay, I'm going to roll now, so I'm harping on this situation because it really does mean a lot to me as a young adult, because this community is going to be where I'm living the rest of my life. So I do want it to be better. And our community, stop throwing stones. That's what I have to say to you as a young adult, and I'm sure you can probably say the same too. Unless you are Jesus, you have zero room to judge someone. And if I can say another thing to you, look in your own closet.
100%. You know, as your granny used to say, sweep around your own back door. We've talked about that. It's really hard to condemn someone for something when you have so many issues yourself, but it's okay.
Right.
You know, it's like weighing a sin, you know, that's how it goes. But, you know, we're dwelling on all of this, and you know why we can? Because we're in Tampa.
That's right.
So,
and speaking of being in Tampa, once again, you guys, we are giving away Hard Rock swag. So all you have to do to enter this giveaway, you have to like this video, you have to comment, and you have to subscribe, and all three things are free to do. So make sure y'all enter into that giveaway, and we will be contacting the winner. We will message you to get your shipping information and all of that stuff.
And what we would like for you to do in the comments, tell us what you love about your county or your hometown.
And also where you're from. We would
tell
love
us
to know where you're from.
Tell us what you love, and tell us, because there's a lot of good things about our hometown also, and we want to hear it. We love you guys. We want to hear the good in Adel. We want to hear the good in Cook County instead of the bad. So tell us what we have going on, and tell us what's good wherever you live.
Yep. And you guys, we will see you next time. But until then, bye.